Welcome to the ISN podcast. My name is Christian,
And my name is Jace.
and we have a special guest here, Clint Hoots from the IHS. Coach Hoots, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
This is my 18th year at Etowah Agricultural High School. Got into football coaching way back when at West Point. Was there for 6 years and then was at Smithville for a year. Then came up here and been coaching football here ever since. And, it's a place I want to be. It's a place my family wants to be. And we've, over the years, been very successful and had a lot of great players come through here, built a lot of great relationships, and it's home now. And put a majority of my career, 22-year career so far, and 18 years have been here, and it's just been a pleasure to be a part of the program, be around the program, and its people and the players made it really special. And excited, moving forward for the season. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming season?
It's gonna be a good season. We got a lot of guys working really hard right now. Preseason camp is winding down, and we're fixing to get into the first part of our season. Really our preseason games. We split our schedule into three parts. You got your preseason games, which has got 5 games there leading up into division, and so we're fixing to hit our 2-quarter scrimmage this Friday night, and then we'll get into our Caledonia. And it'll roll. It goes really fast when that happens. And so, leading up into our season, preseason, getting ready to end it, we're figuring out what guys can do. We're figuring out what positions that we need to work at the hardest and what we need to look at moving forward. And, adjustments are made. And that's really the important part in coaching. And the first 2 weeks of season, especially when you get into game reps against other teams, is how many adjustments that you need to make, and making those adjustments, finding the players that fit the right puzzle pieces that fit where. And we got a challenge because we got a lot of guys that are playing a lot of positions and are very good at it. So, which is good, and the depth part is a good thing moving forward, and it's going to be interesting to see how we develop. We're breaking in a new quarterback. We've got some returning guys in the backfield that we're really excited about, and so moving forward is finding how those pieces fit, and what the best avenue moving forward offensively and defensively. And really excited this year about our defensive front and our linebacker and core. Got a lot of depth there, and that's something we hadn't had a lot of over the years that I've been here. Is defensive linemen that we were able to roll in and stay fresh. And in high school football, you look at the offensive and defensive lines. The average fan looks at it. You better have a good quarterback, or you better have a good running back, or you better have a good receivers. But if you're really good on the offensive line or really good on the defensive line, that'll take you a long way. And you look at those teams that make it to the state championship every year. That's the core, that they're really good in that box area. And so, we've got to find the right pieces there. But our defensive line, we were rolling 9 different guys up there. Seniors with Cade Nail and Jay Shumpert and those guys up front really bring some good leadership. With guys coming back like Christian Copeland, who played a lot of reps, and you got Wayne Stubbs in the middle, who's a big presence, and he's 6'4", 320 pounds, and that's hard to block. So we hadn't had that in a long time. We got different guys up front that rotate in. There's 9 of them that do a lot. Evan Summers is 220 pounds and is extremely explosive, extremely athletic. And you look at our linebacking core. Colton Lewis is coming back. This is his 3rd straight year starting, and he's been in a lot of football games, a lot of experience. And you got Jay Gasson and Eli Neighbors that are coming back on that side that made a lot of big plays for us last year. Going, and in the secondary wise, we got Keyshawn back healthy, but he's a staple in the secondary. He was a guy that was a freshman that was backing up Isaac Smith, so he's played a lot of football and knows a lot of football. And then in safety, Marion Wilson, his brother, he started every single game at free safety for us last year, so that's a lot of reps coming in for him. And really excited, just to get the right pieces and how they fit moving forward. It's just a constant. Every day you're evaluating it. Every time you have a chance to watch film, you're evaluating different positions. And When I sit down to evaluate the defensive side of the ball, I watch each player and rewind and watch another player and rewind and just trying to make sure that we're one evaluating it and two making sure that we've got the right guys in the right spots and excited about that. You look at the safety position. You got Xavier Waters, who's going to move over to the defense and play some this year, and Caden Daniels, who moved back here from he'd been in Texas for the last couple of years, and he moved back. And really excited about Caden and the presence that he brings on that side of the ball. And our will safety position, you got Jace Edwards and Tavon Young that are going to split time there, with offense and defense. And so we have a lot of different guys playing a lot of different positions, but we also got a lot of different guys that can play multiple positions. So you swing around on the offensive side of the ball, those same characters that I just named as far as Keyshawn and Marion and Jace and Tavon and Malachi Cashmere is also going to work at the safety position, but you're going to turn around and work them on the offensive side of the ball at receiver as well, so that every time we go out on defense or every time our offense goes out, we've got fresh bodies that can go, and then they know what to do. And so it's a constant formulate right now. I know those guys, their heads are spinning because they're on offense and they're turning around and they're going to defense and they're learning over here and they're learning over there. But eventually it's going to plan itself out and play itself out, and we'll be able to figure that right piece out. Offensively, it's going to start with Ashton Hoots. This is a guy that's been around the program his whole life. He's worked extremely hard for the opportunity to play quarterback here. And it's been something since he was little. He's wanted to do. He's been a manager since he was 7 years old, and he encompasses the part of quarterback, the extra film study, the extra work, the extra weight room time, the extra, getting out and throwing balls and things like that. And he really embodies that part. So he puts a lot into it. And the thing with him is making sure that he's comfortable in what he's doing, making sure that he's getting the ball where it needs to be quickly and efficiently. And then it's also on us to put him in a position to where he can be successful early, and we can build that confidence. And once that confidence starts rolling, you can expand it. But as far as Ashton goes, it's going to be a learning process and getting him broke in. And Friday nights hit different, especially at that position. When you got to get the offensive line lined up correctly, you got to get them in the right coverage. The right pass protection, and then you got to make sure that our routes are where they need to be and people are moving where they need to be. And then you get us in plays that we can be successful. And he makes checks and things like that at the line of scrimmage. But really does everything, in preparation wise and how he carries himself the right way. And so now, moving forward, okay, let's get that going. And what's going to be huge in helping him is, our offensive line, his surrounding cast. Our offensive line, you got Isaac Johnson coming back for his third year of playing up there, and he played some as a freshman, started last year as a sophomore, and have an opportunity. It starts with him and with guys like Jacob Newton, who've been on the field a bunch, and those guys have played a lot of reps and have been very good on the offensive line for us. And now they have opportunity to lead that group. And what we haven't had in the past, we have now is you've got guys that are juniors and their bodies have developed and they're ready to go, like Andrew Wiggs and Landon Shaw and Levi Marino. Those guys are ready to fold into that mix now, and it's their time to go. And they've worked really, really hard to get to that point. So those guys meshing together, communicating together on Friday night, and when the bullets are flying, is going to be a big part of them. A success of our offense, just like our defensive line is for our defense. Our offensive line is extremely important in getting the success of our offense going. And giving us time to get the ball out, giving us time to do, for that part. And the second thing is, as far as helping Ashton move along and developing our quarterback and breaking in the new quarterback is, okay, what's standing beside him in the backfield? Well, you got, Xavier Waters and Christian Trice coming back who carried the, majority of the run game last year for us. And, so those guys are now juniors, and, Xavier's up to 192, 93 pounds, and Christian's 220 pounds. And they put on the right weight in the weight room. Their bodies develop. They're stronger. They're bigger. They're faster. And then Jay Gaston, now that he started every rep last year on defense. Now we're kind of doing the same thing with our running back position. With Christian's going to go play some linebacker and play running back. Jay's going to go play some linebacker and play some running back. Xavier's going to play some safety and play some running back. They're never going to be all the time. it's going to be a rotation type deal where we got fresh bodies at all times, but making sure those guys are now mature enough to handle that workload. And those three guys in the backfield all bring a different thing to the table. Christian's extremely powerful running back. He's hard to bring down in space. He gets to the hole. He's hard to bring. You're not going to leg tackle him. You're going to have to put a shoulder on him and hang on. And then you got Jay Gaston, who's a mixture. He's explosive. He's strong. He runs with low center of gravity, and so he gives you an opportunity to expand the run game as well. And then you got Xavier, he's got his body up to 190 pounds, where he can run in between the tackles. He's been our scat back type of guy out wide, but now he's going to be able to handle inside between the tackles at 190, 90 plus pounds, and he's going to be able to absorb some contact and get in the open space. And when he gets in the open space, he has a gear to outrun everybody, and so that gives you a home run threat. So, all the way around, you look at our receiving core. We're bringing back guys that are new to it. So obviously getting the mesh point between the quarterback and the receivers is, getting them on the same page. We've hit a little bit of that early on where, we're throwing the ball on target and we're dropping it, or we're running the great route, we're missing at quarterback. So just getting them linked up to where they know what each other's doing, know when where the zones are, where the spots are. And then we've hit on things where we've hit on some big plays out there, but all that time that we put in, it'll happen. We just got to keep working it, keep meshing it, keep repping it, and it'll come on through and sure up like it needs to be. So overall, looking at our season, I'm extremely excited about it. I think it's a season that's going to be. We've got depth. We've got a lot of guys that are now physically ready to play on Friday nights, and moving forward, and how to get those pieces in the right spot. That's up to us as coaches. It's what we're working really hard to do. And our guys are coming every day with the right mindset. They're coming ready to work. They're coming ready to get better, and really excited about moving forward. We're excited about seeing what we look like Friday night against Boonville for 2 quarters, and then obviously we'll get ready for the Caledonia Cavaliers in a week from now. So,
Coach, can you tell us about the new coaches we have on the team this year?
Well, we're lucky to hire 2 new guys that are really, really experienced and really good at what they do. Our defensive coordinator coming in is Chad Collins. He's known Chad a long time. He's been in coaching a long time. He's coming from Ocean Springs, not Ocean Springs, sorry. He's moving from Smithville, but he's defensive coordinator at Ocean Springs for several years, and then he was the head coach at Smithville and down in Raleigh. He was the head coach there for several years, but been around football a long time. Has done a lot of different things football wise, and very excited to have him and his knowledge back up here. And we've been friends a long time. We've tried to get on the same page several different times to get him, and it worked out to where we had an opportunity to hire Coach Collins, and very excited for his knowledge. He's really, really good in the secondary. And getting those guys where they need to be, and how they, which is important, because we're breaking in some secondary guys, and give him an opportunity to expand on those, and he's working really hard with that. But he's a extremely talented defensive coordinator, been around it a long time, and excited to have his experience on that side. And Coach Kerry McKenzie comes to us from Tupelo. This is his first high school job, but he's been working with the defense over there on that side, and defensive line guy. He played defensive line in college, and he's coached middle school and JV over there at Tupelo for the last couple of years, and he brings a wealth of knowledge and extremely hard work ethic with those guys. Puts a lot of time into developing them, and he walked into a good situation where we got a lot of guys with game experience and a lot of depth there, and adding a little things to that guy to help him grow, little things that he sees that we may not have coached before, and he's bringing to just a little different twist to it, and it's been really good for the fall. So.
Can you tell us about the fans and the support that we all have?
Absolutely. Our Friday nights are special. You from a player standpoint, you feel it more than anything. Especially when you're standing in the tunnel with the smoke and the lights, the LED lights are going off in the tunnel, and the smoke's behind the banner. You hear the people banging on the bleachers, you hear the band playing, and it's just a special atmosphere. And we come out, and the fans are yelling, the kids are lined up there waiting for us to come out. It's a special moment. It's a special time, and The every year, I see it in our faces when we get in there and we realize, hey, these people are here for us, and they support us. We go on the road. A couple of years back, we went to a playoff game where it was a good ways away, and we had more people in the visitor stands than the home team did in a playoff game, and it was just a great atmosphere. And they travel. They're going to be there to support us. We have a homecoming parade. They line the streets. We have pep rallies. They're taking off work and coming, and our parents do a great job supporting, but our fans as well do a good job. And it's important here because you go to Walmart, you're going to ask people you don't even know are going to come up to you and say, hey, how's such and such, how's his ankle? And like, how do you even know him? And second of all, how do you know he hurt his ankle? So it's a town that puts a lot into it. This is their boys, their hometown boys, and I tell our kids all the time that it's important. People know you and they watch you and they're excited about you, and because you're their boys, and they want to see you be successful, and they want to be there to help you. And so it's a lot of support, a lot of just camaraderie in the community, very close knit community, and very excited for our team, excited for our kids to be successful, and win, lose or draw. Here it's always been, hey, as long as we can play as hard as we possibly play for 4 quarters and make those people that support you, make those people in the stands, they're always going to respect you, but you go play as hard as you can for those people, because that's why they're there. They come to watch you. They put a lot of interest in you, a lot of investment in you, and they want to come see you do your best. And as long as you give your best effort, the scoreboard will take care of itself.
Coach, we'd like to thank you today for coming, and good luck on the season. We'd like to invite you back.
I appreciate you guys for having it. I appreciate you guys for publicizing our team and our opportunity for us to talk, and look forward to doing it again.